Swan Island is a base that is involved in the training of a number of Special Forces soldiers of the Australian SAS.
It's where some of our most secretive troops are actually trained, and where we often train troops from overseas.
So in 2010 a group of activists started looking for a place to target as in protest to the war in Afghanistan. So we wanted to look at how we could most effectively disrupt activities on the base, and we felt that the best way would be to, in public, in view of the police and security they had there, walk through the front gates and onto the base.
The 15 of us who had decided previously that we were in a position where we could risk arrest walked onto the bridge and started walking onto Swan Island. We were singing that whole time that we were walking over the bridge. We were singing songs of peace, and we were carrying with us a vine and a fig tree, which are biblical symbols of peace from the small prophet of Micah.
We're morally obligated as human beings, as Australian citizens and as Christians, especially for me, to stand up and do something about our involvement in Afghanistan.
For me personally, I believe that relationships between people, and by extension relationships between nations, don't really work properly if we're basing them on conflict, if we're basing them on physical power.
We live in a country where we don't actually have to fear torture or death if we physically put ourselves in the way of war, which is what we were doing at Swan Island when we were blockading the gate. And so I think if we see some violence that is occurring against our brothers and sisters, then we need to do something about that. And that is why I went to Swan Island.
There's two primary driving forces for me. One is I'm a Christian. I follow Jesus Christ, and I believe we're called to serve others and to work for a better world. The second is I'm a father. I have two children, and I do really connect with the idea of what if I was a father in Afghanistan? What if I had to watch my children fearing drones flying overhead, fearing night raids, soldiers coming through the front door in the middle of the night? How would I feel as a father over there? And what would I as a father over there expect in terms of other people acting in my defence?
And I don't believe that the kind of violence that the US has used to try and stop so-called terrorists has been productive in lessening the violence in the world. I think it's actually created a lot more extremist beliefs among Middle Eastern and African Muslim young men especially, who see that their families and their friends are being hurt and killed by these, American and allied troops, including Australians.
The battle will be over. 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 The battle will be over.